Today I would like to talk about returning home. In this world, we are always subject to expectations. Always there are demands to our time, our attention, our behaviors, how our personality reveals itself and unfolds in certain circumstances and within certain interactions. It takes us off center. We start identify ourselves with some thoughts, some conceptual thoughts that others impose on us, because we become so entangled with their world and reflected our world. But the world that I'm talking about is not the space within us, the nature of ourselves, but personality, the karma that plays through us, considering the attributes that we carry with us through life, unless we change the attributes, unless we revise how our body-mind shows up. And we carry that karma for as long as we carry those attributes, unless the wisdom that comes through life events transform those attributes, or transcend. Usually transcends more than transforms, because we are not trying to change one quality of personality to another. It's not that, because there's not that much wisdom in that, really. It's transcending the illusion that comes with attachment to this identity that we have about the view that we have about ourselves. And by ourselves, it's not self from capital S, the self, the underlying nature, the underlying foundation of what we are, but the personality, the formation, the form and formation of years in this body, and everything that comes from what we know as event of birth to right now. Every person we encountered, especially those that had significant impact on our life from childhood, our parents, whoever we perceive to be the role models, teachers, friends, lovers. Meditation has a lot of great benefits. And by meditation, I don't mean necessarily sit down, close your eyes, and formally meditate. It's not the doing of meditation that I'm pointing to. It's getting into meditative state. Meditative state is the state in which we eliminate impressions. What I mean by impressions is anything that transfer conceptual thoughts from one source to us. It's people with their opinions about something out there, themselves in relation to us, the projections that we usually call projections. You know, how they see us in relation to them. It's never how they see us, because they don't see us at all, really. We don't exist in their world, per se. It's everything that happens within them in some sort of interaction with us. And interaction doesn't even have to be actual interaction, verbal communication, or some sort of entanglement event. It can be as far as you, let's say, posted something in social media, and then you get a message, angry message, and you think, how could they read from this and to that? How that transformation of message could even happen? How is it possible? possible humanly, because that's not what you said at all. That's not what you meant. That's not what you bring out there. But someone look at it and got triggered, for example. It is by your written message or by your said word, and they don't read what you actually say. They don't care even what you actually mean. What they care is the emotion that arose in them needs exit. And usually the first thing they do, they put it onto you, they project. And there's a lot wiser person is, their projections are more subtle and nonviolent. Less wise person is, the ignorance comes as aggression and violence, verbal or physical or anything like that. And that's impressions, because it affects your inner world, isn't it? That's why a lot of people withdraw from interaction. They withdraw from public work, for example. There is a lot of people who start work in public with the greatest intention, but amount of impressions that it brings take them back. You can say they're afraid of opinions of others, right? But usually that's what the words we use. But it's not just opinions. It's not just judgments that are hurtful and therefore the withdrawal happen. It's not just that. So meditation allows us to distance ourselves from believing that these impressions actually have value and impact, and they even exist and they're real in the first place. Feel in the moment, they feel very real, isn't it so? They feel so real that it makes us revise even our value very often, our worthiness as a human being, which is, again, what happens is one conceptual thought and emotion that it carries bring conceptual thoughts in us. Otherwise, we would never even bring the idea of worthiness. What is the tree worth? What is the worth of the tree that grows, or a flower? A single tree, a single flower, in a field of flowers, in a forest of trees. What is the worthiness? What is the worthiness of human being? It's just life. There's no such thing as worthiness. It's life happening. It's happening within us, and we're expressing life within us. So, as we meditate in any form of it, whether it's a walk, quiet walk, or withholding all your impulses to follow your addictions of any kind, or dance, ideally with closed eyes so you're not flirting with everybody around you, because that's not meditation, that's impressions. Again, increasing impressions. Oh, did he liked me? Oh, am I too fat or too skinny? Oh, do I move out? Right? It's all here is outside world give us some sort of impression for the image. And now our filters make a lot of different interpretation. And now we are in the field of conceptual thoughts that identify us now. Now we need to deal with them. And more identified we are, more we treat each concept, each thought as a problem and try solving it. And the truth is there is nothing to solve. It's just a thought. It came and passed by like a cloud. You're not solving cloud. You're not shooting them with the gun. Are you? Well, some people probably do. You know what I mean? So the impressions bring illusionary problems. It feels like it's a problem. Thought, unpleasant especially, and if it's about past or future, because that's majority of thoughts about past or future. Past is fear, fearful thoughts, and so more regrets or shame or embarrassment, and future, it's a fear mainly, right? So now we need to deal with them. We need to solve our regret, per se, if it's a regret, let's say, right? In the past. Oh, and it's comparison, everything comes with it, right? Regret, shame, maybe. Or we now need to solve everything that thought of future fears. So the thoughts are just clouds. They're just clouds, the result of impressions of the world on us. And more impressions we have, more concepts circulate in our head. And they think when they start to, there's a glitches happen, they clash and they conflict with each other, right? And that's what they do because they're all so different, and they point to different things. So there's no peace then, is it? There's no peace. When we are quiet, we return home. I could say it's in your heart, right? But what does it mean? The heart is just organ, it's beating. So it's not in the heart, it's not in the mind, it's just home. It's fundamental being of life within us. It's something that is formless and permanent. The rest is transient, temporary, in which all impulses arise, all longings, sense of loneliness, sense of not belonging. Well, go where you belong then. If you feel you don't belong in an external world of impressions in which you don't belong, none of us do. Go home. Go where you belong. You always belonged. In that world, home, there is no demand on you, because you don't demand. When you say someone demands something from us, it's not that they demand bothers us. It's we believe in what they want from us, and we start to feel that we can't deliver, or start to feel pressure that we must deliver. And demands can come in a very subtle way. There's so many ways in which demands can come. People think that only those who blunt and straight give demands to us, but others don't. It's just not true. As soon as someone showed you the emotion, it's they demand for you to go and comfort them, fix them up a little here and there, right? So there's emotional demands, and they are even heavier than anything else, because verbal demand, at least there's a way to straightforward communication and quickly adjusting the content around that. The emotional demands and with light manipulations, you want your attention. And plus, sometimes it's conditional too. It's not just give me attention, give me only that kind of attention. And sometimes it's not even clear what exactly the attention they really want, what exactly will satisfy them. That's the challenge of human existence. People don't know what they want. They know they want something. They know that there's disturbance inside, the inner turbulence. They know that, and they show it to you. And more time you spend with them, if you're a family member, father, mother, child, sibling, wife, husband, lover, more time you spend with them, more demand they put on you, and more manipulative behavior starts to poke you left and right, and then the more you need to figure out, more unclear it is, and usually more unclear it is to them, more work for you, energetic work. Now you need to figure out, right? If you truly feel that it's your job to fix them, or at least get them out of your face so you have peace. There's much work to do. There's energy burns with that, and then you get ill too. Don't forget. Further from the home you are, more bodily illnesses, diseases you have, because that's what disease is. You are not easy. You cannot get to the state of ease. There's no state of ease. It's not easy. Everything become hardship. It becomes too hard. Life becomes too hard, too much work, and you don't even see a result. It's just burning of energy. The peaceful place to be is with people who are completely at peace. They don't feel insecure. They don't feel that they need to manipulate reality and engage you and then blame you that you didn't solve it, because they don't know what exactly they want from you, really. But they will blame you too. Just look around and you will notice it all the time, right? For example, if you go back to event, someone sends you angry letter just because they read something that you shared in social media, for example, or you wrote a book, blog. So there's no actual connection. They actually don't know you. They never met you. So there is no way they can be correct about it. So it's pure impression, right? Where did I go with that? I know there was a thought and it was lost somewhere in the process. It's okay, no problem at all. It will find its way through completely lost. I still try to find it. I notice I can try to find it. But you are with me here, right? The thought was that they wrote to you and they're angry about something you said. Okay? Something you said triggered the hell in them, and they blame you and argue with you about something you said. They don't even understand what you're saying, but they argue. So the problem, they don't know what happened to them, and they bring it as this statement is the problem. The statement is the problem. But the problem is, I want to be loved. And in the moment when I read it, something triggers in me, my past, some sort of projections happen, it triggers, I don't feel love. Now I'm sending you angry message or making an angry phone call because that's my request for love. Everything comes as love or request for love, fundamentally, right? But requests for love are very hard to handle with ease very often because they're not clear. The easiest way to approach it, of course, in this context is just understand that it's request for love and not solve the content of an angry message, for example, in this case. Voicemail, email, statement. But it's not just anger. Anger is easier. You right away you understand that's request for love. But there is a lot of other ways how entanglement happens, especially between loved ones, family members, friends. And they pull you in the world. This will give you billions of impressions per minute. And you try to resolve them all. It's quite impossible to feel at home over here in that sense. Because the mind starts running like a sports car. It's vroom, vroom. It tries to solve everything that surrounds you. And more impressions you're dumped at you, more you're trying to solve. The minds try to comprehend it all, connect it all, understand the interconnection and cause and effect. So the only way to do it, to do life, is just drop it. Just drop all of it. Drop impressions and all ideas about cause and effect. Drop. Stop. And go within and witness during the meditative states how far you've gone from home and how many people you blame on the way for you to be unhappy, empty, unloved, unheard, unseen, and you name it. But it's not their problem. You didn't take care of your spiritual self. Well, there's no such thing as non-spiritual self. Everything is spiritual. Everything comes from spirit, whatever it is. So are you home now? Or are you solving problems in your life? Or even worse, you're solving problems in the world. Oh, who is the president right now? What are we going to do about it? Well, I can tell you what you can do. Sit quiet. Not that I can tell you what to do. You can figure it out. But sitting quiet, walking quiet, dancing quiet, listening to music quiet, touching your loved one gently with care without wanting and needing, holding a child, painting a painting, doing a sculpture. All forms of meditation as an act, everything goes. Everything will serve you as long as they allow you to go within. Anything that takes you out of your out. You're out too much if you're unhappy. That's just the fact. As long as you're unhappy, you're out too much. And I don't mean too social. But you, on the scale of time to reintegrate into quiet place and time to be active in any form, there's disbalance. And then you blame others for the fact that you didn't care of the balance in your life. Job is guilty, and boss is guilty, and colleague is guilty, and employee is guilty, and business partner is guilty, and marriage partner, and lover, and mother, and father, and whoever else, president of the country. Sit quiet. Drop it. Drop the world with billions of impressions. Drop all the interaction. Drop all the vehicle that sends you impressions that are even unwanted ones. Forget about even wanted impressions bring inner turbulence. Wanted impressions as people we want to have in our lives, for example. They're wanted, and they give you so many impressions to deal with. The images of reality that you need to figure out. At least it feels like you need to figure out, because they land on your mind, on your soul, in some forms, and provoke all sorts of inner reactions. But this is the wanted reality. Now there is unwanted reality that we're still part of. Social media, media, you name it. Social groups. We go to groups just so we don't feel alone. We never sort it out. We're still alone. But there is so many impressions, unwanted conversations. Or you go to mall, all this unwanted conversation, advertising, that pushing at you that or another, pushing your buttons of insecurities and not enoughnesses. How can you be home when it's so loud all around you and all within you? You can't be home. You have to find quiet within you. I have to find quiet within you. We have to find quiet within us, within ourselves. And then we can project quiet out there and offer peace to others. Offer love, because love is so quiet. Love is not this crazy thing that people imagine it to be. This passion and falling in love and stuff. It's all wonderful. It all feels good. Don't get me wrong. But it's not love. It's not this quiet, unconditional presence, non-judgmental, non-solving anything present. Complete acceptance of the moment and you as you show up in the moment, no matter what you carry, what you bring, and what you experience with it. But when a person does not truly love you, even though they say they are, then they can't see what's happening in your world. Your vulnerability is not seen. Your inner energies, inner turbulences are not seen, because everything is read as what this expression of you means to me. That's why parents have conflicts with the children. Well, but if you don't go to school and get all A pluses, what does it mean to me? What kind of parent I am then? What my identity? I had all the hopes for you. Right? So then I feel good. Or lovers, even more so. Families, marriages, business partners. More interactions, more impressions, more unsettled interdependencies. So if you don't feel home, if you don't feel belonging anywhere or to anyone, belong to yourself. Be home with yourself. But to be home, you need to be for a while, not act and react. Act is not a problem. Reaction are challenging in that context, because they take you on the path to dealing with old impressions. If you could act with complete presence and quietness of the mind, no problem. And you do that. Chop wood, carry water, no problem. But we attach meaning to our actions, and therefore we react. And more we react, more turbulence within than there is. Unless we feel we belong, unless we feel we are home. My dear one, I love you. Whether I know you or I don't know you, I love you. Because that's you saying to yourself, you don't know me, you don't see me, I'm just a head on the screen. It's just you saying to you, I love you. Whatever that means. Who is I and who is you in this context? You figure it out, it's not my job. My job for today is to remind you, you're welcome home. You're welcome home. And if you don't feel home, for one reason or another, just reach out. Call me, email me, message me. I'll be happy to support you in your journey back home.